Yo, yo, welcome to Trippy Commentaries and another episode of our WWE Raw reactions. We have a lot going on in the world of wrestling leading up to tables, ladders, and chairs. The main event is going to be Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. That's going to be awesome. We're really looking forward to it at the channel. But another thing that has got us really hyped, Vince McMahon is still around, Raspo. Man, I hope he doesn't go anywhere. And he's getting a good reaction from the crowd, man. I think this could be a good sign for us huge Vince McMahon fans.
Vince McMahon's got the swag walk, and he's back, at least for now, so
back in
that's
business.
Pretty damn awesome. I love it.
Oh, hell yeah. There he is. He looks awesome.
Vinnie Mac, yep.
He's better than ever. Of course, that was Raspo. I'm RJ. Also joining up with K-Mac.
Yo, yo.
Retro Brett. Raw started tonight with the anonymous general manager. How did you take it? I know we're not too thrilled about it. What did you think about the start of tonight's episode of Raw?
Well, all I can say is I'm glad my boy John Cena came out immediately and put a stop to that bullshit. I hate the Raw general manager. I'm sure everyone else does as well. I can't imagine why they brought that back. But then Seth Rollins came out and they had a little war of words and insulting and stuff. But then the Raw general manager piped up and he made a pretty good announcement there at TLC. We're going to see John Cena and Seth Rollins going head to head with the stipulation.
Trippy stipulation.
Yeah, it was a pretty big stipulation that if John Cena loses, he will be stripped of his #1 contendership.
Wow.
But then, yeah, that's insane, right?
Yeah, definitely a big announcement.
But not liking the show of confidence on John Cena's. He's like, what the fuck, man? He was not showing a whole lot of confidence. But who does get the #1 contendership, if that's the case?
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that a lot, that's for sure. I really appreciated Cena walking over to the computer, closing that. Kind of speaking for all of us fans, the WWE Universe, that we don't want a faceless entity running Raw and wrestling. What the fuck?
Well,
Matt, you were on vacation. Hopefully you had a good time on the open seas there. What do you think? We haven't got to ask you about what you think about this rehash of this anonymous general manager. It's clear the fans don't like it. It's clear Cena doesn't like it. I wish it was someone like Bad News Barrett. What do you think?
Well, my vacation was great, man. I did get kidnapped, though, by Concessions Kane.
Yeah.
Had to work some merch tables, so that was fun, too.
it builds character.
Yeah, but you know what? There's an added effect to this for me on a side note, which I mentioned to you guys before the show tonight, is that this kind of makes me dislike Michael Cole a little more. And I already don't like the guy. There's something about him. He makes me mad and annoyed. And like when he goes up on that podium and reads, and we hear that annoying
chime,
that just
hate it.
It sends me over the edge, man. So I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated as well with you guys, and I hope we can get some resolution to this soon. But I'm not expecting anything.
The biggest news to come out of this, of course, Seth Rollins versus John Cena, TLC. This is awesome. A tables match, Kyle. Yeah. Man, these guys are so evenly matched. Two of the most impressive fighters in the WWE. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Seth Rollins is more impressive than John Cena. I know a lot of people would agree with that. Who do you have as the early favorite?
I mean, it almost seems like the authority is still in power here because Seth Rollins gets to sneak in here and possibly get a chance to be the #1 contender. So it sets up a lot for that, maybe, right. He'd obviously probably be in the lead for that, though, if he did defeat John Cena. So you could see some bullshit happening again. Someone coming to the aid of Seth Rollins to defeat John Cena, but I gotta stick with John Cena to take out Seth Rollins.
Keep in mind, Sting's probably floating around somewhere. I'm pretty sure he has this match in mind. He's probably gonna come into play somewhere.
You'd hope so.
The next segment we had, I believe it was Erick Rowan coming out. this is a new persona that they're building for Erick Rowan tonight, guys. They built it up more and more as the night goes on, but it's basically an Erick Rowan versus Big Show feud that is growing here. What do you think about this, Raspo? I know a lot of things came of this tonight. Two big guys here squaring off with one another.
Yeah, we've seen like basically the members of the Authority and the members of Team Cena going at it back and forth, and then we finally get these rivalries that seem to be, I'm not going to say they're set in stone, but they sort of are. Mm-hmm. One of those being Erick Rowan and Big Show. I like this feud. I think it's pretty cool and interesting. Big Show is never going to do it for me on the mic, and his acting skills or his, I guess, convincing enrollment skills, maybe you can call them, aren't that great, in my opinion. But with that being said, it's good to kind of help Erick Rowan by having a vet like Show hook him up and have some good matches with him. You know, I'm looking forward to this and to seeing what they can do.
And another rivalry that's starting up as well is Luke Harper, of course, now going to be feuding with who was that? That was Kane, of course. Now I don't know if he's merchandise Kane all of a sudden.
No, Luke Harper, I think, is feuding with Zig.
No, that's true. Well, Kane basically. Kane came out, and because there was kind of a three-way feud going on right there during that whole Seth Rollins, Cena situation. Everybody was out and kind of broke down.
They basically came out one after another and beat the crap out of each other until like there was mass carnage everywhere.
Yeah. Kane attacked Ryback with a chair.
Yeah,
so I know
multiple times, alluding to their chair match at TLC, Ryback and Kane. But before that segment, they had a tag team turmoil match that Golden Stardust versus the debuting what was it?
The New Day.
New Day.
Yeah, New Day.
Yeah, the Blue People.
It was Xavier Woods was on the side, and it was Kofi and it was Big E, and they basically, you know, they won the first bout against Golden Stardust, but then they lost to the next opponents.
Cesaro and Tyson.
Yeah,
Kidd.
Cesaro and Tyson. It was pretty interesting, actually. I thought, you know, we had a new type of match. I've never seen
You've never seen a turmoil match?
Tag team at least I haven't seen one recently that I can remember. So.
Well, then Cesaro and Tyson Kidd won the second match. Then they faced the Usos, which beat them in the third match, and the Usos faced the Bunny and Adam Rose. And Usos won that match. And
Bunny did a little more dark side action on Rose to have him lose.
What do you think about that, Kyle?
I don't know, man. I'm more worried. I'm more interested, not worried, more interested in who is inside the Bunny suit.
That's interesting.
Yeah, well, that's definitely intriguing.
Bunny's taking over.
I have no idea. I think it's just some random guy.
I don't think so.
I think it's a new guy.
I think it'll be a huge superstar, like a legend.
Justin Gabriel?
Somebody coming back into wrestling?
Perhaps. I'm thinking Goldberg, maybe. Maybe he lost a whole bunch of weight.
He got taller? No.
Nah, I'm just kidding there, folks.
So we have the tag team champs now, the Miz's, waiting in the wings here. Looks like the Usos will challenge them here. Do you think they can recapture it? I don't think the Miz's are going to lose it this quickly.
I don't know
it's starting to get personal, right?
I don't know about TLC. However, when is Mizdow? When is Mizdow going to break away from the Miz? I mean, if the Usos beat them and something happens, Miz has some jealousy issues, then they can feud. I don't know.
I think the Miz is going to turn on Mizdow. Myself.
Well, that's kind of what I mean by when is WWE going to break Mizdow away from him?
I think it's going good right now. I think people are enjoying it. I think Mizdow's finally he's found a role to play that people are actually like, this is kind of funny. He's doing everything the same as Miz. So.
Mizdow actually had a match tonight. He won easily versus one of the members of Los Matadores.
Now we also saw the Miz trying to move in on Jimmy Uso's woman. and getting a little beat down backstage, and then at the end still trying to work his little angle there. So that's going to definitely come into play.
I think that's going to
for that match.
Cause some friction between Naomi and her husband. But isn't it? I find it funny that we're talking about Sandow as Mizdow like that's his real name.
I think it is now. I think he's finally found a role that
he is Mizdow. What if he's more Miz than the Miz himself?
Than Sandow.
He appears to be. He's getting a lot bigger crowd reactions.
No doubt.
Of course, not annoying.
The next segment
He doesn't talk.
Was pretty interesting. We had Erick Rowan being interviewed. It was pretty cool how they were now kind of coming out with this knowledge of his that he's a near genius.
Idiots of wine.
Yeah, apparently he's a winemaker, a great musician.
143
can
IQ.
Solve the Rubik's Cube pretty quickly. Pretty interesting new storyline they got for Erick Rowan as they're trying to now beef him up. He has a rivalry with the Big Show. We saw that match tonight. And we saw Erick Rowan got pretty bloody. I don't know if it was intentional what happened, but he got hit with some steps. Gruesome. Hopefully he didn't get a concussion, Retro Brett.
I don't think that was intentional, actually. It looked kind of an accident.
Yeah, it fell back over on him.
Yeah, I mean, the Big Show hit him, and it was a clean shot, and then it just happened to bounce and hit him. But it looked like the corner of the steps got him.
Right on top of the head.
It definitely poked him in the head because he was bleeding.
Yeah, and of course, because Big Show used the steps, that is a disqualification.
Yep.
We did have Fandango versus Jack Swagger. If you guys are interested, Fandango won. Let's move on.
Yes.
As we mentioned, Mizdow actually came out to... he had a chance against Fandango himself, apparently. Or, I'm sorry, not Fandango. Fernando. Fandango, of course, won, and Fernando, as we mentioned before, lost to Mizdow. Quick victory, first singles match. I thought it was just the WWE kind of feeling out if he would be impressive as far as from a fan perspective in the singles. I felt like they gave him a good reaction, and as you guys kind of touched on, he definitely might be a singles fighter at some time, but Kyle said this is as popular as he's been. He might not go anywhere. Bray Wyatt fought against R-Truth. Haven't seen much of R-Truth or Lil Jimmy recently, but he lost to Bray Wyatt here, and that turned into a crazy segment featuring Dean Ambrose, a bunch of chairs and whatnot against Bray Wyatt. They fought against one another, eventually leading to a heartbreaking scenario where Dean Ambrose crushed Bray Wyatt's basically holy rocking chair. Man, Bray Wyatt kind of went into tears there. He went crazy, crazier, and this just pumped up the match even more. I know you're real excited for it, K-Mac.
Yeah, I am. This is like the best thing going for me in wrestling right now. Just the two craziest guys going at it. The whole psychological warfare going on between them. And, hey, TLC is going to be awesome, dude. This is going to be probably an epic match. I want to see like some type of record set for most tables broken, or just, you should know these guys are going to go all out. They're going to be pretty much the main one that I'm looking forward to in that match.
Oh, hell yeah. That's going to be a great pay-per-view. I'll be honest, guys. I was not really looking forward to it. I thought it was going to be kind of that off month.
Yeah.
We had the interesting free pay-per-view last month, Team Authority versus Team Cena. They really hyped that up. Sting returned. And we all know we have, of course, the Royal Rumble coming up. So were they going to do that off pay-per-view? Doesn't appear so, as I'm getting pretty excited. Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt are probably my two favorite wrestlers right now. AJ had to team up with Naomi tonight, and congratulations to them as they did win against the Bella Twins. Anything you want to add to that match, Raspo? I know you love the Divas.
Well, I think they're just going to continue on with it. It's kind of weird how they transitioned. I didn't really get to speak on this last week, but
Yeah.
It's weird to me how they transition to all of a sudden Brie likes Nikki now, and everything's good. She was her slave or assistant.
There's still a little bit of tension, but not nearly as much.
A little bit of tension, but I think Brie might be working something up.
It's just a complete
manipulative.
That might be true. You might be right about that.
Kind of see girls do that, man.
There's always something going on.
You can remember Paige did that to AJ Lee before. And was getting all buddy with her, trying to pretend like she was trying to get them to be friends, and then went dark side on her.
The storyline now, I guess, is that the Bellas maybe planned the whole thing out to get at AJ. I mean, there's always the opposite.
Interesting
idea,
We had an appearance tonight by Paul Heyman. As usual, he killed it.
Yeah.
He kind of laid it down the line that we're not going to see Brock Lesnar because he's a big deal. It's like Christmas. You're not going to have Christmas more than once a year, or your birthday or whatever. We here at Trippy Commentaries would still love to see more of at least Paul Heyman. I mean, Brock Lesnar for sure. Just throw us a match, because we got some news that we might see more of him. And that's just not the case. We haven't seen much of him at all. Hopefully Royal Rumble. It seems like they're leading up to that big match. Hopefully that'll be an epic match worth the wait. Still a great appearance by Paul Heyman. And, what can I say? We're hyped up for that match when it does indeed come. Most likely against Cena. Maybe against Rollins.
Yeah, it just seemed like after he signed his contract, we did see quite a bit of him. Like 2 matches and 2 consecutive pay-per-views, but ever since then, nothing.
Well, could it be?
It's a good gig, man.
I know people always talk about this, and this is a crazy theory, but the way they've been pushing Ziggler recently, Ziggler basically won the match, against the Authority, and Cena, maybe he has the option to go heel finally. If he does
Heard that before.
Hogan, I think Hogan recently said he'd like to see Cena go heel.
So a lot of people.
A legend like that. The guy.
Let's go to our Cena expert. We've asked him this question many, many times. Cena, any chance of him going heel anytime?
If he loses at TLC,
soon, Retro Brett,
and he's done.
No chance in hell.
Figured you'd say that. Let's go ahead and move on. Definitely great to see Paul Heyman, guys. That was awesome. Do you think John Cena will become heel yourselves, guys? Drop in the comments. That is a huge question that will be asked until it indeed happens. But we did have the epic main event, guys. It was Dolph Ziggler, one of our favorites, man. He is hot as it gets. Teaming up with John Cena and Ryback. So kind of a pseudo-team Cena. Seth Rollins teaming up with Luke Harper and Kane. Of course, pseudo-team Authority as well. Great match here, guys. A lot of up and down. Cena, Ziggler, and Ryback won it to no surprise here. And once again, it was Ziggler coming up big. Anything you guys want to say about this match? I was happy about it. It was a cool grand finale to the night.
Do you guys think that Ziggler could be more popular than John Cena at some point in the near future?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
I disagree. I don't like it.
No chance in hell.
But Ziggler is...
the guy who loves Cena just says right there.
I do love Cena, but
that's what I'm saying.
It could turn him... I kind of want him... He's still going to be good, but I want him to be superseded by other people. I mean, he's been the top for so long. Let someone else do it.
The guy I think is going to get big.
His ego, I think, is going to just build the more he goes on. And
I really like Erick Rowan. I hope they start pushing him more. He actually came out after the match and started hitting everybody with the steel steps. Man, he was pissed, of course. He was the one who got knocked with the steel steps. Looked like he was bleeding quite a bit there, so looks like he wanted... If he was going to go down, everybody was going to go down with him. Of course, the Big Show came out again himself. Erick Rowan took him out again. And Cena, Rowan, Ziggler, and Ryback basically ended up celebrating at the end. These guys are teaming up. Ryback, who I thought was a lone wolf, now seems to be buddy-buddy with former rival John Cena. Ziggler, of course, we know is definitely teaming up with Cena. We'll see what that means going forward, because we know who John Cena is going to face now. Of course, Seth Rollins. Any predictions for Dolph Ziggler? I know you're kind of hyping him up as possibly getting bigger than John Cena. What do you think for him going into TLC?
Well, history has shown so far that Ziggler, every time we think they're going to give him a chance, the WWE, they kind of just put him back in the shadows of John Cena and or something that is happening that's bigger. So, I with that being said, I think this is Ziggler's time, and I think Ziggler's got it. You know.
Mm-hmm. Hey, he certainly has a lot of momentum going on right now. What do you think, Retro Brett? Dolph Ziggler? I've never really asked if you're a big fan of him. It seems like you're pretty neutral. He is trying to make it up to John Cena's status here as a face in the WWE.
Well, unfortunately, he won't until Cena retires or gets injured.
Kind of forgetting about a couple of the wrestlers here, though. He's got to contend with to get to that Cena level.
Such as?
A guy like Roman Reigns.
He'll
Guy
be
like
back.
Daniel Bryan if he ever returns.
He returned last week.
As soon as those guys come back, Dolph Ziggler becomes an afterthought. He goes back down to fighting the Jabronis.
That's a great point.
Well,
We'll see. That
I'd like
is a
to
good
see
point.
him push more than a couple people at a time.
Another guy, of course, we're listening to his theme right now, Ryback. He's getting a lot of momentum himself. There he is. He's turning beastly.
Scary.
Ryback, have you ever seen Ryback possibly with this much potential? Because he's been a main event player in the past, mostly losing. But right now, he could possibly make it up to the status to face off with Brock Lesnar. Because Ryback all of a sudden is a face. We know Brock Lesnar is the enemy. Could Ryback take him out?
I'm just gonna say on my final note that I love Seth Rollins for a reason. He's great on the mic. He's a great wrestler. He knows how to get at people and engage the crowd. I don't think Ryback and Ziggler are that great at that. That's exactly why Rollins is my favorite guy right now.
And it's so rare to have that talent on the mic that we see.
That's what it's all about, man.
Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman. And let's give respect to John Cena, this man right here. He's still doing his thing. Thanks again for joining us, guys. Make sure to stay tuned every week for our WWE Raw reactions. We got your back in the world of wrestling. Please subscribe if you're new. We really appreciate it. I'm RJ for Raspo, K-Mac, and Retro Brett.
Peace out.
Stay tuned. More importantly, stay trippy, my friends.